Welcome to aminacademy.com and questions how, why and what. In that we'll ask some interesting question. Why does the sun has spots on it? On one interesting aspect of the sun has its sunspots. Sunspots are areas where the magnetic field is about 2500 times stronger than Earth, much higher than anywhere else in the sun. Because of the strong magnetic field, the magnetic pressure increased while the surrounding atmospheric pressure decreases. This in turn lowers the temperature relative to its surroundings because the concentrated magnetic field inhibits the flow of hot new gas from the sun's interior to the surface. Sunspots tend to occur in pairs that have magnetic fields pointing in opposite directions. A typical spot contains of a dark region called the umbra surrounding by a higher region known as the penumbra. The sunspots appears relatively dark because the surrounding subsurface of the sun, that is the photosphere, is about 10,000 degrees, while the umbra is about 6,300 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunspots are quite large as an average size is about the same size as the Earth. That means, can the sunspot is near size about Earth? Yes, it is possible. Now, we'll discuss further detail about this question. Sunspot appears on the sun because they are areas of intense magnetic activity that inhibit heat from reaching the surface, causing them to appear darker than the surrounding photosphere. These spots are not actual holes or breaks in the sun's surface, but rather areas where the magnetic field is so strong that it disrupts the normal flow of energy from the sun's interior. Sunspot and sun's magnetic field. The sun is a ball of electrically charged gas, plasma, which means it has a powerful magnetic field. This magnetic field is constantly moves and interacting with the plasma, causing it to twist and tangle. Sunspots are dark, cooler regions on the sun surface caused by a strong magnetic fields that inhibits heat transfer from the sun's interior. These magnetic fields are generated by the sun's internal dynamo, a process where charged particles and magnetic fields interact with the sun's interior. The magnetic fields twist and tangle as the sun rotates, creating these sunspots and other solar features. Magnetic field in line sunspots. When when the magnetic field's lines becomes a particularly tangled and strong, they can rise to the surface of the sun and snap open, creating sunspots. Lower temperature, darker appearance. These areas of intense magnetic activity inhibit the flow of heat from the sun's interior, causing them to become a slightly cooler than the rest of the surface. Since they are cooler, they appear darker against the bright background of the photosphere, which is the sun's visible surface. Sunspot and solar cycle. What is solar cycle? Sunspot and the solar cycle are directly related. The solar cycle, a roughly 11-year period of fluctuating solar activity. This is a solar cycle, is characterized by the number of sunspots on the sun's surface. Sunspots, dark spots on the sun's surface, are cooler areas caused by intense magnetic field activity. The number of sunspots and the intensity of solar activity generally follow an 11-year cycle called the solar cycle. During period of high solar activity, that is the solar maximum, there are more and larger sunspots. During periods of low solar activity, that is solar minimum, there are fewer and smaller sunspots. So far we discussed about sunspots and solar cycle. we have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.